Hello everybody. Hi, Aimee Meier here. I am thrilled to be part of this product expo. The videos have been amazing yesterday and today. I'm loving every second of it, and I know you guys are too from all the comments. So I'm so excited to be here because we're going to talk about juniors tonight. All right, we will get right to it. I love that we have all the tools we need and the tips for excellent application with juniors. It's so important as a consultant when you have kiddos. For me, that was the beginning of my business. My daughter, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and my 4-year-old was 20 months when I started back in 2014. I say we started because every Jammy Cure I did, it was mommy and me. That entire summer, all my pictures were both of us. And it was such a great way to kick off my business as a really bonding activity for me and my little ones. So I want to give you guys some of my favorite tips from the get-go, because as a consultant, your kids, it's not just you who's a walking billboard, but your kids are too. And that's amazing because you know what? You think people notice your nails a lot. Wait till your kids are wearing them. They notice kids' nails so much, and the comments just come in about how cute it is, how adorable it is. And it is a great way to be a walking billboard outside of yourself, have your family be a walking billboard too. So I love doing that as a consultant. Proper application is also so important for your customers, because we all know that that's how we get returning customers. And juniors love their wraps, and if we can get the proper application, then you have a returning customer time after time. So let's get to it. I really break it down to 4 keys to an excellent application, because these are the 4 trouble areas. Usually when somebody has an issue with juniors, it falls into one of these areas. And that comes to prepping the cuticles. It is so important, especially with kiddos. You can have some invisible cuticle. You can you really need to make sure that you're prepping the cuticles with kiddos. The second thing is just prepping the nails in general. Kids' nails are so healthy and have that great natural oil. And so we really want to make sure that we're prepping them correctly so that you're getting a good seal with the wrap. The third thing is proper curing is so important. And then the fourth thing is you want it to be a good experience for the kiddos and for the moms. So I find that the tools that we have to improve on that experience, I want to let my customers know about, because I know if it's an easier experience for them, they're more likely to come back and continue to use those wraps in the future. So let's get to the good experience part, because that kind of overlies the entire thing. For the adult to have a good experience, the heater is key. And I'm just realizing I prepped all my materials, and one thing I forgot to include on my table is my heater. But you all know what the heater looks like. So the heater is key to that great application. So when somebody orders junior wraps from me, I message them and I just let them know very honestly and openly, you need the heater for juniors applications, because otherwise they're going to be juggling a hair dryer and a kiddo, especially if it's like a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old. That is really tough. So we know for that adult to have a positive experience with it, we want them to have the heater. Let them know that they trust you as the expert, and most people are going to just listen to what you recommend because you know how to get the best application. So let them know that, it's important that we actually open our mouth and share that part, because we know that heater is essential, especially if they're applying juniors, because they're already juggling someone else's nails and, juggling a hair dryer. It just isn't going to happen. In order for the kiddo to have a great experience, I find that there's 2 kinds of kiddos. So what I always do is when somebody orders a juniors wraps from me, instead of just sending my normal thank you card, I actually send them a packet, because I include a catalog. I find that kiddos love catalogs. I know that when we get the mail here, it's the first thing my kids do. They go through and find what catalogs we have, and they look through it like it's a new book. So if the kiddo is one of the two, if they're either they like to watch the nails go on and they're really interested in the process, they're going to love the catalog, and let the mom know. Like, oh, I'm going to send a catalog in my thank you note. That way your daughter can flip through it and it can keep her entertained while you're doing her nails. The second type of kiddo, I have one of each. One of my daughter loves to watch what we're doing, and she's all in, and she's just so patient and watches. The other one just wants it to be over, and she is just not really interested. So know your audience. If you are doing your kiddos' nails and they are not interested, I would definitely make sure that you have a good video to watch or something fun for them to do. I love to save up like our favorite show, and I'll let her know, like, oh, we can watch our show tomorrow when we do your nails. And it just makes it really easy because she is so zoned in on the show that I can get great application for her. So sometimes, I know it sounds so silly, but if a parent's having trouble with nails, one of my customers, and I ask what their kiddo's doing with it, like is the kiddo kind of squirming and moving around, I just remind them, like, it might be a good time to like save up a favorite show and let them watch a show like while you do their nails. Because some kiddos are going to love it and it's going to be a bonding activity, but some aren't, and that is a-okay, and you just want it to be a good experience for the mom, and if she has a squirmy toddler, that can be a little bit tough. So I send a catalog in case the kiddo wants to look through it while we're doing that. And let's see, so that is the key for me for adults and kids to have a good experience. So nail prep, let's get to cuticle. We all love our cuticle remover. This is really important. Kiddos, I find, tend to have invisible cuticles, or even just more cuticle in general to remove than adults. So it really is important that we do not skip this step for them. So use this, get out your deluxe toolkit. God, I love this. I love this so much. And make sure you're actually using the tools. Aimee, Grace, and her sister did such an awesome demo, and they showed how gentle, with the cuticle oil and your pusher, how you can just gently remove that invisible cuticle. So that is exactly what you want to do with Junior's nails. So important. Okay, the next step, we all know about sizing, and you always want to size down. It's the same with kiddos. We want to make sure that it's not touching the cuticle and it's not touching any part of the skin. Let your customers know that. Sometimes we forget to let them know that. I leave all this information via voicemail, which I'll talk about at the end. So once I have their hands ready to go with the cuticle remover and they're all clean, that's when we get out the Dawn dish soap and a nail brush. Does anybody recognize this? You guys remember this beauty? We love this. The Mother's Day gift set 2 years ago was like my favorite thing we've ever done. So if anybody still has taffy, feel free to send it my way, because I did love the taffy in there. But this is the nail brush from that gift set. And this is what I use with a little bit of Dawn. And we love Dawn because it naturally takes away the oil from the nail. It's a degreaser. And then you don't have to use something like a nail dehydrator or like acetone or anything else. So it's a really great way for kiddos to just get rid of that grease with something that's still gentle for their little hands. Okay, and so after I've used the nail brush and the Dawn and I'm ready to go, I'm ready to prep the nails, and that is when I always use my Jamberry nail prep. And let's see, then you just go ahead with your normal application. The key is, though, the cure with the kiddos. So when I do my daughter's nails, it is always going to be after bedtime, after bath and before bedtime. And you want to let your customers know that too. I always tell them when they order the Junior's wraps, I tell them they need the heater like I mentioned before, and I let them know that the best time to apply them is after bath and before bed. And that way the kiddo is lying in bed and they get to cure all night, which is such an important step for them to stay on these little fingers, especially since little hands tend to pick things off more and just be more active in general. So letting them know about how important curing is really a key step in Junior's application. I'm just reading my notes. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything for you guys. Okay, so like I was saying just a few minutes ago, my very favorite way to tell all of these tips to my customers, these tips I want to let you guys know because it's great for you to be using them for your own kiddos, but we want to let our customers know these tips too. We want to let them know that they need the heater. We want to let them know how important cuticle remover is and to remove those cuticles. And the way I find best to get this information, because it can be a lot if I'm like sending a whole long message to somebody, so I actually prefer to use the Facebook voicemail option for this. So after somebody orders Junior's, if I see that they didn't order a heater, in my thank you voicemail to them, I'm going to leave all this information. And if they're local, I even offer to swing by and drop off my heater so that they can try it with the heater, because I know they're going to get a better application. But I leave in that voicemail, I leave all this information. I let them know to be sure to do it right before bed and after bath. Let it cure overnight. Make sure you're prepping the nails using Dawn dish soap, taking away the cuticles, and that is pretty much it. And that is how we can help our customers and our own kiddos get great application time after time. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Have a good night. Bye.